What's poppin', what's goody? You're listening to By Any Means with your boy Zico Dan alongside my co-host Jumoke, CC Poetry, aka CC, and as I call her, Richie.
By Any Means
podcast.
Yo, welcome back to By Any Means.
Hey guys, welcome. Yes, we've had a little bit of a hiatus. However, we're back. You know, we've been gone for a little bit, sorting out some things as we tend to do, as we are all, you know, working adults. But thank you for everyone out there that's subscribed, that's commented, that's shared, that's given us some topics, that's given us feedback, productive or other. We appreciate you. Continue following us, being part of the By Any Means crew. Hashtag.
If you're just tuning in, you can find us on byanymeans.theofficialpodcast or By Any Means with the number 6 on TikTok. And just plain By Any Means on Facebook.
Just plain Jane By Any Means. So unfortunately Zikodon is not able to be with us today. Did I say it in a way that it sounds like he's alive, but he, you know, I don't know, the way I felt like I said it was in a way that he's not being with us today. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to attend this session. He's, you know, bigging up everyone. Puss, boots, whatever the phrase he does normally do. What do you do? The cow, the chicken,
the cat, the dog,
everything like that, nice and right. Yeah, all that. He's he'll be with us next time, basically. So, as you guys may or may not know, this month is November, and that means there's 2 people's birthdays this month. One person is sitting right here. So, and I'm not going to tell you the date of her birthday, so at least you can just say happy birthday for the whole month. So just go onto her page, which is
CC Poetry _writing content.
Go and wish her happy birthday. Send her stuff if you want to send her stuff, whatever the case may be. And with that being said, because it is her birthday and I tend to like birthdays, I'm going to play a little song that makes us all know about birthdays. For me, growing up, this meant that it was your birthday. Without this song, it wasn't your birthday. So. And that's what I'm going to play because we're not endorsed by that. So, with that being said as well, bear with me. Let me just lean this way a second. Happy birthday!
Oh wow! Thank you. I was not expecting this.
Turn it around. Turn it the other way around. Thank you. There you go.
Oh, okay, I would have been struggling for ages with that. Oh, what? Oh, that's why you asked me what chocolate I like.
Oh, makes sense
she's
now.
She's sly, you know. She's sly.
Makes sense now.
Oh, thank you. A little gift box. Oh, thank you. Really
and we have some
donuts
here. We're not endorsing these donuts, but I'm going to eat these donuts. Surprise!
Oh, thank you. And yes, the other person whose birthday is today, if you didn't catch on, is Mr. Dunn. And we shall be doing something special for him when he comes back.
Yes, so on to our topic of the day or the week.
Topic of today is, remember the other week when you showed me that video about parents having one child compared to ones that have numerous children? If you was to compare the differences between being an only child to the ones being where they have 1 or 2 siblings, or some of them even more,
Nothing wrong with that.
What would you say are the differences, are the main differences between the two?
From what I was gathering from the video, it's a more thing to do with, do parents who have one child just more or less spoil their children, and now they're overly involved and overactive in their child's life. And also in the video they were also talking about the different behaviours, like whether or not an only child is able to like socialise, how their socialising skills are compared to a child that has multiple siblings. So that was, there's a few things within that video there that we can touch on, but those were the little topics within that video that you want to touch upon, because you are a parent of an only child, so this is something for you to be
because a lot of people say, oh well, it's your only child, you're going to spoil him, you're going to do this, you're going to do that. I've seen people with their firstborn, I would say, and then they was constantly holding them every time they cried, they picked them up and all that sort of stuff, and I vouched that I was never going to be one of them parents, and I haven't been.
Okay.
Right, I let him soothe himself at a young age, and do you know what? Now he is like, he is my only child, and like, but that actually helped him, because that helps him to understand being that only child. But
how would he know any different?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? How would he know any different?
Because he has cousins. I'm constantly around children. Right, there's cousins around the same age as him. There's cousins that are older. He actually prefers to be with the older kids. Like, he doesn't really like. He has friends at school, and his teachers are always telling me how lovely he is. He even helps the other children. Like, they were saying, I went to his parents' evening a few weeks ago, and the teacher was saying that sometimes he does the role of the teacher, because there's one little boy in his class that he's not known as being slow, but he's slower than the other children, and Lorenzo will sit next to him and show him how to work out a certain sum in maths, how to read a certain word in a phonics class. And the teachers were saying, no, he's loved by everybody. Like, so people were saying that, having one child, they have socialising difficulties. But no, my child will literally go to everyone. He will talk to everyone. Like, if he doesn't talk to you, then you know he don't like you.
How can you not like someone if you never spoke to them? How can you?
Because of even us as adults, we can feel a vibe.
So energy. People. So you can feel certain people's energies. Okay.
People's aura. Like, because sometimes we don't like people, but we can't really put our finger on what it is that we don't like about them. But and children, they're even worse, because of all you have to do is just approach them in a certain way, and they know for a fact they're not gonna take to you. Okay.
So, with that being said, then, that you could kind of argue that they're, depending on the upbringing of a child, and also depending on the characteristics, because his characteristics is not to be antisocial. So therefore, that's why he isn't to some degree, or whenever you know what I mean, to some degree, I'll say that. But and what about in regards to, so you're saying, because you vouch, I'm not going to just know that beforehand. So now you believe that because you said that he isn't spoilt because of those reasons? Yeah? Okay, I'm sure there are some parents that say they're not going to do that and they still spoil their child though.
Yeah, but some parents are like overly spoiling to the point where the child then expects certain things. Because I mean, like, my child, he knows you need to help mommy clean up, or even do your homework. There has to be certain things set in place, certain boundaries before you get what you asked me for. Like, I'm not gonna, just to shut you up, give you a donut. Like, it don't work like that. You have to work to get what you want.
Right.
And that's the same way that I was brought up. So I'm gonna make sure that I install that in my child.
Okay, that's good. I don't know why I just did that. I am not from a family that, I'm not an only child, so I don't I wouldn't understand the aspect of that. I think it probably would have been good actually to have someone on here that was an only child, or maybe one or two people actually as an only child, as an adult, to see how it was for them, if they felt like they got spoiled, if they felt like maybe their parents were overbearing or mollycoddling, because you know we do hear that there are certain males that grow up and their mother is overbearing. And in their relationship.
But then there are people out there that are not the only children, and their mothers are still in their lives, like their just every aspect of what they're doing in their relationships.
They might not be an only child, but they'll be an only boy or an only girl. It wouldn't necessarily. I've not really seen anyone. Let's say they got multiple, like 2 or 3 boys, 2 or 3 girls. And they're very involved. It's either they have one boy and one girl, and that's when they're overly involved because they have one of each. So they're basically only kids.
I've seen some people that have 2 boys. I've seen some people that have 2 boys, 2 girls. I've seen some people that have 3 boys, 1 girl, and they're still in each of their children's lives, just attached.
Just them as a parent, then.
Yeah, it's just them. Like, I'm like watching, going, all right, what? Ain't your mum gonna settle now? Like, come on.
It'll be interesting to find out with you guys who are watching if you are an only child or not, or if you've got one, or if you had one. Let's say you had one and then you had a gap and then you had another. The differences between the child, how they socialise, whether or not you're the ones that are overbearing in the child's life that wants to know everything. Well, not want to know everything, but you know what I mean.
I'm not my mum's only child, but I am my dad's only child.
Your mum's only girl, so that's what I'm trying to say. Because you're your mum's only girl, she's gonna treat the base of you're her only child. You get what I'm saying? So it will be different from if she had 2 or 3 girls or 2 or 3 boys. You can't be all up in every single one of your children's lives. You don't have the time and energy for that. So that's what I'm trying to say. If you had multiple, it will be less, I think. But I also think it comes, the whole thing about, having one child and stuff like that. When it comes to, I don't know about how it is in the Caribbean, but when it comes to Africans or whatever, they always do say you shouldn't just have one child. You should have more, in regards to a household.
But then what about those parents, those that can't have kids?
They ain't thinking about that. They're not thinking about that. They're talking about in general. If you can have, that's what they're basically saying. They're saying be fruitful and multiply. That's what they're saying.
There's this whole debate going on about whether or not women should have 1 or 2 or whatever. But then they're missing the fact that there's some people out there that can't have kids. Mm-hmm. There's some people out there that have been trying, and then it's just not happening for them. Mm-hmm. And then there's others out there that
don't want it.
Yeah. I was gonna say that. Like, so everybody is different, and then how you're gonna bring up your child is different as well. So they can't say that, because even by looking at statistics, households are actually shrinking nowadays. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if it's because of finances or whatever.
I believe so.
But a lot of the households where they was having like 3 or 4 children are now having 1 or 2.
Mm-hmm. I think it's a combination of society in regards to less people getting married, less people people having children older as well, and a combination of finances. I think those are I believe that will be the 3 main factors. Because obviously if you had finance at some point, you probably have as much kids as you wanted, to be fair. That wouldn't be an issue. If you was married or you had a partner that's for life, that wouldn't be an issue. And if you could have them older without having complications or feeling tired or having to do other things, you would have them.
Even though being married nowadays, you're still not certain, because if you can be married and then as soon as the child comes, that goes to pot.
Well, that means there was something wrong with that marriage, right? Why would it just go to pot? There will have to be things there that will be happening before it goes to pot, no? So, I don't know, I think I believe that some kids are spoiled when they're. I'm not gonna lie. I do think that some children.
There are some
I said that's why I said some. I didn't say all. Look, I don't know all.
Because there are some kids that have siblings and they're still damn spoiled. Like, I'm watching these children and I'm going, "Are you for real? Are you gonna say something to your child?" Like,
that's the parenting, then, isn't it? Because at the end of the day, obviously, we all want our children to have what we didn't have. Whether or not we do it in a way that they earn it or they just give it is two different things. You know what I mean? Like, some people are like, okay, this is what I'm going to put in place so that my child doesn't feel ungrateful and doesn't become a spoiled child, because then we need to find out what happens to that spoiled child. They're going to become an adult. How are they going to be an adult?
But then this brings it back to our other topic that we had previously about discipline. Because if they had certain discipline in place, then that child would then understand the boundaries that are set for them,
and therefore won't be spoiled.
Yes.
But what about this thing whereas there's discipline there, but then because you just don't want your child to go without, as people tend not to do, or people want not what to do.
People just want life easy. That's what it is.
No, hold on.
Easy.
There's nothing wrong with having life easy. Why should we? No, hold on. Hear me out. Hear me out. Because we've been taught as a people, if you understand what I'm saying, that we need to struggle and do all this nonsense. No, I get what you're saying in the grand scheme of things. Yes. But life should be easy, if
people
that makes sense.
People just don't want to keep hearing that nagging voice, innit? Mom, 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 mom. So they're like, you know what? Just take it and get out of my face. That's what they want. Like, instead of actually, sitting down, nurturing with your child, do certain things. Like, they just they've had a hard day. They want to chill. And then just give you what you want.
That's understandable, because at the end of the day, way back when days, we were just like catering to our kids. We had the time, we had the energy, whatever. People have jobs, multiple jobs, and you come back, you have to deal with your children.
Yeah, but that's the whole point of being a parent.
What? Dealing with your children? Don't mean that you can't just be like, sometimes. Sometimes, not all the time, obviously. But what I'm trying to say is, like, there's other aspects that have come into place why people have decided to be like, oh, hear this, or take the YouTube, or just take this and whatever. Because, like, you go to work, you're doing all the business aspects. You come home, you got to cook, you got to clean, you got your child, you got to do homework, you got to do this, you got to do that. So it's very understandable why some children end up being spoiled, or a parent that's less resilient to mom. Because for some people who don't spare the rod, or whatever the case is, they have to hear the mom business. There's no, I don't know. I personally wouldn't know, because I said I'm not an only child. So
according to some research, it says psychologist Susan Newman offers some research for the trend towards only children. Women who are marrying and starting families later in life have fewer years for childbearing. The divorce rate is still high, which affects the timeline of having subsequent children. The cost of raising and educating children is high. Adoption regulations have tightened. More women are in the workforce with young children, and managing large families is difficult.
I did say those are the three things that make a difference to people. You've got to get having more kids. Getting a balance is hard, isn't it? It's difficult.
Yeah, it's difficult. And then with the cost of living and everything else, like, it's hard to manage. Like, it's hard to look after yourself, let alone numerous children.
So we salute you mothers out there, and fathers, and guardians, and grandparents that are raising 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 children. You know, we salute we salute anyone that is, you know, chipping in. When it comes to the whole community chipping in, helping to raise the children, because, you know,
like
it says
we said before,
a village.
It's a village.
Yeah, we salute you. Continue doing what you're doing. Do you have any poems for say? I know it's just like, that's not the word, but I know it is a stretch or an arc, or maybe you can do one off the spot. So how about let's do something different today? How about you take the term only child and let's see what you can come up with. Even if you want to jot something down real quick, feel free to do that. If not, go for it, you know, go on the spot. Let's see what you can do. Let them know what you could do. Even if you, like, you know, get tongue tied or whatever, it's fine. Start again. You know, this is something new that we're trying out for the first time. So normally, CC Poetry does have poems written before the podcast. She does it on the day sometimes. It's not always that we give her notice. It's just on the day sometimes. But now I actually put her on the spot to see whether or not she can freestyle. So what I'm going to do is something a little bit different. Yeah. I'm going to give you... How much time do you need?
2 minutes.
I'm going to give you 2 minutes to write something. Right? And if you want to, like, go off and write and come back, whatever you want to do, 2 minutes to write something based on being an only child. No, was it spoiling children, right? Or being an only child? Which one was it?
Only child.
Being an only child. So, ready? Go.
Done.
On time as well. Cool. So whenever you're ready, go for it.
Families are shrinking by the day, going from 5 children to only 1. What is left to say? Having 1 child leaves room for a life, spending time with your husband or caressing the wife. Having 1 child leaves energy to love thy neighbour, take your child out or be your child's saviour. Helping with homework, going to work on holidays. You still get tired, but you find it anyways. There is nothing wrong with having 1 child, still a gift from the Almighty, instead of having numerous you can't handle running wild. Each to their own, I salute you. Share a comment, let me know if any of this is true.
Oh, it's a poem, so we do this. Okay. Did she do it? Was that okay? Was that okay? Or was that okay? I tried. I like that. That's good. Skilled, eh?
Maybe I was a bit biased because I've only got 1 child.
I think so.
But some people can't handle having more than 1. That's the thing. You see them running wild and like.
But
they're like, Tony, stop it, Terry, go away.
Why Tony? Why was it? Why Tony? I'm just playing. Tony and Terry, tease. No offense to any Tony's Terry out there. She was not. She's not trying to offend you guys.
First name popped into my head. Yeah.
Maybe she's seen a Tony and Terry.
Who knows?
Okay. So, guys, thank you for tuning in again. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for liking. Thank you for subscribing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm not allowed.
And continue to do so. We appreciate it.
Say your handle again for anyone that didn't hear it from the beginning part, or they skipped some of the parts and decided to go through the rest of the... Yeah.
Yep. CC Poetry _ writing content.
And you can find me on the one and only _Jumoke 1.
Yep. You can also find us on TikTok, which is By Any Means Podcast, with the number 6.
Podcast, yeah.
Or we're just plain By Any Means on Facebook, And on Instagram, it's byanymeans_theofficialpodcast.
Hopefully next time we'll be all three of us again, or even more, because we may have a special guest. So tune in and you'll see what we're going to talk about next week.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Peace.
What's goody, what's poppin'? This has been By Any Means. You've been listening with Zico Dan, Jumoke, CC Poetry, aka CC, and as I call her, Richie. We out.
We out, people.